We're showing you both of those sports in that highlight video because the dual threat analyst, Blaine Fowler, is ready to roll to discuss, some BYU basketball and some transfer portal priorities as well. Blaine, welcome back to BYUSN. How are you on this Friday?
Good, guys. It's a Friday, and we got a doubleheader tomorrow. I have a doubleheader. Spencer, you've got a doubleheader tomorrow.
Let's go. We're calling women's basketball, and then we're going to follow it up with a little men's basketball.
I'm just doing one game. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Yeah, Jerem's got a single header, but Spencer and I are calling the women's game, and then Spencer and I are both on the men's game as well. So we got a great Saturday in front of us tomorrow that I'm pumped about.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Let's start with basketball, Blaine, and the question of the day for us is looking at Jaxson Robinson and what he's been doing, one of the elite shooters in the country. He has been dynamite. He's on NBA radars now. He's been labeled the best sixth man in the country by John Rothstein. Does Jaxson Robinson need to start for BYU basketball, or are you cool leaving him in the scenario where he is coming off the bench?
I mean, everybody wants to feel like, hey, I'm a starter. I asked Mark Pope this question specifically before the game on Wednesday when we were at shoot around, and he's like, Jackson's been unbelievable. He says, if inside he's thinking, why am I not starting? He hasn't voiced it because his mentality this entire offseason has been, I'm going to get better. I'm going to understand what my role is. I'm going to figure out where my shots come in this offense. I'm going to play nails defense. I'm going to help in any way that I can to be a great teammate. And he says Jaxson by nature is kind of a quiet guy. He went out of his way to do things off the court with each of his teammates in the offseason so that he could have a better relationship with them and understand them better. All that stuff that he did off the court, I think, is what's paying off on the court. And now it just feels like it's out of his nature to even worry about whether he's starting or not because he's having such huge contributions. And it's more than just he's confident in himself. He feels the confidence of his teammates in him. Like, he knows they want him to shoot. And so I don't think he's worried about it. And his production is so good off the bench, and he's getting so much recognition. I just don't see it as a problem. I heard you guys talking a little bit about would it have helped in Utah if he started. I don't know. Jerem, you made a great point. When he comes into the game, the starters that are left in the game on the other team are a little bit gassed, and he's fresh. So he can run them into the ground. And he's got much more bounce than they do.
Yeah.
If you're bringing in a backup at the same time that he's coming in, that second group, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Houston and Baylor. He's the best player on the floor in the second group. And as you guys look at his numbers, it's worked out really well for him. The matchups that he's been getting are so good in that second group that he just comes in and immediately dominates and is playing with such good confidence. So I kind of like what they're doing with him. And I think the role that he's played has been fantastic. And everything that Mark has told me about his mentality in the offseason and where he is tells me that he's the kind of kid that's just going to go out and play right now and is just thriving with the trust that he has in himself and his teammates and the trust that he knows that his teammates have in him.
It just hit me while you were talking right there, Blaine. Take the starter bench thing out of the conversation. He is the new Alex Barcelo in that the perceived statistical damage goods version of that player, 2 years elsewhere, Arizona in this case, Texas A&M, Arkansas, comes here, skyrockets into a national player that people are talking about. It has been one of the best stories for BYU. He's part of a big rotation, Blaine. Dawson Baker may play tomorrow. We'll see. At some point, Foose comes back. Jimmer said, hey, the rotation in conference probably needs to get trimmed down to 8. This is a BYU team that's very deep. The bench points are awesome, second in the country. How many is too many for BYU once you get those guys? Because you're sitting at 11 if you add those 2 to the 9 right now. And that's without Marcus Adams Jr.
Yeah, and it's, maybe Baylor or Kansas's rotation needs to get down to 8. I don't know if BYU's needs to get down to 8. I think BYU can play with 9 or 10. And you're always going to figure out a spot. And it may mean that, hey, when Foose comes back, is Atiki going to get less minutes, especially with the way that Khalifa is? Yeah, he is. He is going to get less minutes. But do we want Foose to come back? Yeah, we absolutely do. Let me tell you about Dawson Baker. Like after the San Diego State game, I had a chance to visit with Brian Dutcher, San Diego State's coach, who's been a friend of mine forever, right? And he's always really transparent and honest with me. And he said, man, this is the longest, most athletic team we've faced in a long time for BYU. They're really, really skilled, and they can shoot it. And he goes, and Blaine, I got to tell you, we've played against Dawson Baker the last 3 years. He's the best shooter on this basketball team, and he hasn't even played yet. And I was like, really? And he goes,
well then.
Yeah. We threw everything at him we had, and we still couldn't stop him from scoring. And he goes, and his toughness is next level. And I was like, wow, that's an opposing coach that played against him 3 times. And so I didn't know that much about Dawson Baker, but when Dutch tells me that, I have really, really high hopes for Dawson. And the question with him is, how does the foot hold up? Because he's going to have limited minutes to start. And they have a very brief window now to decide whether or not they're going to redshirt him. So this next week or so, or a couple of weeks, is going to be can he play on it? When he plays on it, does it swell up or does it not?
Yeah.
Because if he starts to get some refractory swelling and he starts to have problems with it, the best thing for Dawson Baker would be for them to redshirt him this year, bring him back with Colin Chandler and all this other talent next year, and let him have 2 years. And so if he's completely healthy and the foot stays solid and he increases minutes over the next couple of games and his foot feels great, then you go ahead and play him because you could use him, because this is a pretty special team. I also think they're going to be a pretty special team next year, and even better perhaps. And so that's what we're looking at with Dawson right now, is whether or not it's late enough and the foot's not quite ready that you redshirt him, or is it ready enough that you play him? And that's what we need to find out from Dawson in the next few games.
I wish football had men's basketball had what football has. They have the 4-game thing. Then you can see the moment Dawson plays this year is used until after his career is over, he can apply for a medical redshirt and then maybe get one back. We wouldn't know for 2 years, Blaine.
Yeah.
Or I guess the end of next season. So we'll see on that, man.
The NCAA should make it a 30% thing, right?
Yes, in all sports. Why is football the exception here? Yeah,
because especially for a case like his, right, where you really don't know how it's going to be until he actually goes full speed in a game. And he feels pretty good. I asked him, I said, are you still shooting it? And, he's kind of a humble kid, but I talked to him for quite a while the other day on Saturday, and he goes, yeah, I'm still shooting. I go, are you shooting it great? And he almost doesn't even want to. He's like, yeah, I'm shooting it great.
It's like when you ask someone whether they play the piano, Blaine, and they're like, yeah, I play a little. You're like, wait,
yeah,
do you actually play a little, or does that mean you play a lot?
Yeah. I literally said that. I said, are you shooting it good? He goes, yeah, I'm shooting it good. I go, are you shooting it great? And he just kind of paused because he's like, gosh, I don't want to toot my own horn. And then he looks at me and goes, yeah, I'm shooting it great. So I'm like, okay.
Blaine Fowler is with us on BYU Sports Nation. BYU basketball begins the final of 3 non-conference games tomorrow against Georgia State. Then they'll host Bellarmine, who hails from North Carolina, on December 22nd. Then the Christmas break, and then they wrap things up with Wyoming coming to the Marriott Center on December 30th. So 3 games, Blaine, for BYU to take this runway and keep that momentum rolling into the Big 12. What can BYU accomplish in 3 games they're heavily favored in to adequately get ready for Cincinnati when Big 12 play begins in the new year?
They just need to continue to add to their confidence is what they need to do. And maybe think about, do they tweak the rotations in any way, shape, or form over these next few games? And think, they're favored heavily in all these games. They're actually favored in the Cincinnati game, in the conference opener as well. In fact, if you look at the ESPN metrics, they're favored in 7 of their next 9 games.
Blaine, they're only underdogs in 6 games, according to Ken Pomeroy, all season.
Yeah, Baylor and Houston in the next 9 are the only 2 they're not favored in, which is that's phenomenal. Like, guys, did we think they would be in this spot? Like,
no,
I didn't.
No,
I didn't.
Nobody did.
But I had no idea that Noah Waterman was going to be this completely different human being.
Yeah.
Like, on and off the court. He's phenomenal right now. And that Jaxson Robinson was going to make this gigantic transition in confidence because he always had this skill. And that Richie Saunders was going to be, we haven't even talked about him. His contributions off the bench in every aspect of the game, the way he's defending and rebounding and bringing energy. And you know what? He's 9 point whatever a game. Like, he's almost a 10-point scorer off the bench. they have improved so much from last year. Last year, against teams that were lesser, they kind of play down to the level. They're just killing people that aren't as good as them. It has been really, really impressive, and I feel like it carries over. So they just need to keep the momentum. They need to see if Dawson Baker can play and be a big part of this. They need to try to slowly get Foose healthy and have him ready, because they need him for Big 12 because there's so many good bigs. And that's all they need to do. I would have been happy with them having lost 4 games at this point. Where they're at is phenomenal, and we all need to just wrap our heads around it and be grateful that we've been able to watch this up to this point, because this has been pretty fun.
Let's talk about your football transfer portal priorities. Where should BYU be investing and looking the most as we hope to see some commitments and signings over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think, to me, the number one priority is, how do you beef up the defensive front? And especially inside, the nose and the tackle. For Jay's defense to be great, you have to have some guys, I call them block eaters, where it's just like, in the game plan, the offense coordinator's like, listen, guys, we need to double team these 2 guys. And not only do we need to double team, we kind of need to stay with that double team and not combo block to the linebackers. In Jay's defense, the middle inside backers lead the team in tackles every year, whether it was at Utah, Weber, because they never get blocked. And that takes great guys inside. So I would like to see him pick up 1, 2, 3 guys at those positions that can come in and then immediately just be big and physical and nasty and cause problems. That's the one priority. I think they need a little depth at linebacker. Offensively, can you ever have too many offensive linemen?
No.
Right? So if there's a really good offensive lineman in the portal that has multiple years, I would say there, I think they could use another tight end. And if there's a legit big-time quarterback out there, then of course you go there. And now with Aiden's announcement, I think you can be selective with the quarterback position and the running back position, but if there's a really good high-level running back that also has multiple years, I think you go ahead and pull the trigger on that. So it depends on what's available out there. I'm kind of over the one-and-done guys, especially at the quarterback position. And so because I think it's just too hard to assimilate into and to be good. I was watching film the other day of ETN, and I just noted when he knew what he was doing, okay, I'm supposed to down block here, and this is my guy. He destroyed people. But there were so many times last year, and you guys just documented the whole offensive line thing, and I think that all of what you guys just talked about was a big part of that. But when he was confused, it looked like he was just standing around, right? And it made him look like physically he wasn't good. I'm really excited to, year 2 for a guy like that, it makes a huge difference. And if you have a year 3, that makes even a bigger difference. So I really hope, well, I know they are, BYU's prioritizing transfer kids that have multiple years. And unless somebody is a unbelievably special player, you don't take 1-year transfers if you can avoid it.
Great stuff, Blaine. We appreciate your analysis. The dual threat analyst, Uncle B, Blaine Fowler on BYU Sports Nation. Look forward to seeing you for a fun Saturday tomorrow.
We're all together all day. See you guys tomorrow.
You got it.